The horizon trembles with salt and spray, as if the ocean itself is a beast breathing in restless fury. The dawn light spills across the savanna, yet the tribe does not linger there. They move toward the mouth of a river that bleeds into the sea. Their bodies lean with hunger, their eyes wide with a mixture of fear and determination. For in this time, 7.4 million years ago, survival does not end on land. It stretches into waters haunted by shadows larger than any predator they have ever faced. What if humans lived in a world where the seas were ruled by monstrous sharks? Creatures vast enough to devour not just prey, but hope itself. That question is no longer imagination. It is their reality. The Australopithecus gather near the riverbank, crude tools clutched in their hands, sharpened stones, sticks hardened in fire. They wade into the shallows with woven leaves that serve as makeshift nets, searching for fish to sustain the clan. Behind them, smoke rises faintly from a dying fire where others guard the young. Every action is tense, each gesture calculated. The ocean is not just food. It is threat. Far out where the water darkens, massive fins slice the surface before vanishing into silence again. The tribe feels it. They always feel it, those giants lurking unseen. Yet hunger gnaws louder than fear. One man throws a spear into the current, striking a small fish, pulling it free, with triumphant breath. The moment of relief is brief, broken by ripples spreading across the surface. Something vast shifts beneath the waves, its shadow elongating like a storm cloud over the sand. The clan stiffens, retreating backward, dragging their catch to shore. The first knot of conflict has arrived, the eternal war between survival and predator. The tribe does not flee entirely. They regroup, crouching on rocks, striking stones to sharpen their edges. A mother ties leaves into a pouch, scooping water for the children, while the men form a loose circle of defense. They have no words, only gestures, but the language of survival is older than speech. Suddenly, the ocean erupts. A colossal body breaches with violence a prehistoric shark, larger than 3 huts, combined jaws yawning wide enough to swallow their nets whole. The tribe scatters in a flurry of limbs and cries, scrambling up the rocky ledge. One spear is thrown not to kill but to distract. The shark crashes down, sending waves that smash against the stones, dragging one young hunter into the foam. Panic surges, yet instinct drives them. 2 others leap, gripping vines and branches, pulling their kin out from the sucking tide before teeth can close. The tribe howls in unison, slamming stones against rock, an ancient drumbeat of defiance. The beast circles, but does not strike again. For now, hunger belongs to both sides. Exhausted yet alive, they retreat into the grassland, dripping wet, their breaths ragged. Yet the second knot of conflict emerges quickly. Storm clouds gather on the horizon, swallowing the pale sun. Lightning splits the sky above the savanna fire, streaking toward the trees. The ocean was danger, but the land, too, prepares to test them. Each trial flows into the next, like links in a chain they cannot escape. Their existence is not a single battle, but an endless war fought with stone, with bone, and with the unyielding will to endure. And as the rain begins to lash down, turning dust into rivers, the tribe knows this day will be remembered not in words, but in scars, in breath, in the story of their survival. The storm does not ask permission. It consumes the sky with roaring fury, the kind that drowns every sound except thunder. The tribe clutches together beneath a jagged outcrop of stone, their fire long extinguished by sheets of rain. Water pours down the slopes, flooding the low ground, and the children huddle against the bodies of their mothers, shivering as lightning exposes their faces in stark flashes. The men press their spears into the mud, reinforcing them like stakes to hold the group steady against the torrent. But storms in this era are not only water, they are chaos. Branches snap, the earth shifts, and the very air becomes a weapon. One bolt strikes a nearby tree, splitting it in two, sending a spray of burning wood crashing into the undergrowth. For a moment, terror threatens to scatter them as the savanna ignites flames chasing across dry grass despite the pouring rain. It is a contradiction, only they must learn to endure flood and fire in the same breath. Forced to move, the clan abandons their shelter, dragging their weak and wounded across sodden ground. They climb toward higher rock ledges, feet slipping, palms bleeding against sharp stone. Above them, vultures circle, waiting for weakness to claim. In this struggle, every step is survival. And yet, amidst the chaos, there is strategy. A few members peel away toward the forest edge, gathering broad leaves that hold water, binding them together to carry precious reserves for the children. Another hunter digs quickly into the mud, pulling roots and bitter herbs, chewing them to release their sap and pressing it against the bleeding arms of his kin. These are not random acts. They are the beginnings of knowledge, the earliest sparks of healing and planning. The rain begins to ease, but the land remains treacherous. Pools of water become traps, masking pits where predators crouch. A rustle emerges from the grass, low and deliberate. The storm has flushed the savanna, and now the hunters become hunted. Out from the shadows emerges a pride of giant saber-toothed cats, their fangs gleaming in the dim light eyes fixed on the weakened clan. The tribe forms a wall of spears, shaking stones in their hands, each gesture a silent declaration, "We will not surrender." The predators stalk closer, muscles twitching beneath their wet fur, waiting for the weakest to falter. The air is thick with tension, thicker than the storm itself. And then, just as the beasts advance, another roar cuts through the scene. Not of thunder, not of cat, but of the ocean beyond. The tide has risen with the storm, pushing into the river mouth where the tribe had once fished. With it comes the silhouette of fins massive and dark, intruding into shallow waters where none had dared enter before. It is as if land and sea conspire against them, trapping the tribe between fang and fin, between the jaws of earth and the jaws of ocean. This is the second knot tightening the moment when survival is no longer about choice, but about sacrifice. Who runs? Who fights? Who endures? The clash of destiny waits only for a single spark. The tribe stands caught in the jaws of two worlds. On one side, the saber-toothed cats crouched and ready to strike. On the other, the swollen river mouth where fins slice the waves like black blades. Fear trembles through their bodies, but in that fear is also fire. The eldest male lifts his spear high, striking stone against stone, until sparks flare in defiance, a symbol as old as courage itself. The others mirror him, pounding their weapons against rock, a thunder of human will rising above the storm's echo. The cats hesitate, unnerved by this sudden surge of sound and light tails lashing in frustration. In that instant, a decision is made. The tribe does not flee in panic. Instead, they surge together, a wave of bodies moving as one. Spears thrust, stones fly, and the air fills with primal cries. They do not seek victory, they seek survival. Startled, the saber-tooths retreat just enough to break their encirclement, and the tribe seizes the chance, rushing toward higher ground, carrying the children on their backs and dragging the injured through mud. Behind them, The ocean bellows again, a giant shark breaching near the river mouth, its monstrous form thrashing before crashing down in foam that swallows trees along the bank. The clan reaches a plateau of stone at last, breathless, soaked, bruised, yet alive. They collapse together, pressing close for warmth as the storm begins to fade. The predators melt back into the grass, and the sea retreats into silence. But the memory remains etched like scars on the soul. As dawn pierces the broken clouds, golden light spills across the tribe, huddled in unity. One child begins to laugh, a sound so fragile, yet so powerful, it cracks the weight of terror. The others join in soft at first, then louder, until their laughter rolls across the plain like a new kind of thunder. They share the roots they carried, the fish they had saved, passing morsels from hand to hand. What began as a night of fear ends as a morning of survival. A story not spoken but lived in flesh and memory. And so their legend is born not of conquest, but of endurance, of a people who faced the ocean's monsters and the land's fangs, and still found strength in one another.